everyone, and welcome to Success Talk with Aurea McGarry. And that would be me. I am your host, Aurea McGarry, and I'm so excited today on this show to bring you a fabulous young woman who I've known for some time now, but I've known her mom for 18 years. She is none other than the gorgeous, fabulous Briana Dai. She is a branding and marketing expert, but she also has a past in beauty to the stars, and I'll let her tell you about that. She is also the daughter of eWomen founder Sandra Yancey and the CEO co-founder, her father, a famous drummer musician, Kim Yancey, who is also an advertising genius. This is a family business. This is a family community who has brought all of us in as women for the last 18 or 19 years with eWomenNetwork as a family community of women and a few great men too, coming together and empowering each other, and now going to millions. Yes, even through this COVID pandemic. So without any further ado, Briana, welcome to Success Talk.
I'm so excited to be here with you, Aurea. Thank you for inviting me. This is so fun.
Oh, Briana, I'm so glad and so honored. And especially, I know you're very busy, not only this time, but during this pandemic, because you do so much great social media content. You're taking over people's Instagram like mine and doing amazing branding, beautiful work, but you're also expecting a beautiful baby girl very soon. So tell the viewers about you right now, a little about your past and who you are.
Yes. So I have been working with the family business for the past 2 years. I get the fun title of being creative director, which means pretty much any of the visual or creative elements of the company I get to kind of put my fingerprint on. But in addition to that, the honor of working with phenomenal people like you and helping with the creative elements of your brand as well, which is just such an honor and a joy, and I don't take it lightly. So I really get to use all of my creative muscles that I've been developing over the past decade working in the beauty industry, specifically in the production space.
You could give, and you are giving, great advice to my audience is really a lot of women entrepreneurs, and some may have had to pivot like extremely right now during this pandemic, and some may need to just totally recreate themselves, and they're thinking about, what do I do online? How do I let people get to know, like, and trust me online? What are some of your key tips for them to do that?
I think honestly, right now more than anything, people really are very much resonating with vulnerability, and I'll just give you one example, and not all of us are comfortable with this. It's like one of those things where we don't want to tell people that we're hurting, but when everybody's hurting, I think it's okay to be a little bit vulnerable around what's going on and what you're battling up against, because people resonate with that and people find comfort in knowing that they're not alone in struggling right now. So I think being unafraid to show up vulnerable is probably one of the best ways that you can really start to cultivate some deeper relationships and really cultivate loyalty from people right now, is just not being afraid. I mean, I'll just give you one example of a restaurant called Bonnie Ruth's here in Dallas that is a small family-owned restaurant. Bonnie actually did a post on her Facebook, just a gut-wrenching, heartbreaking post about having to close her doors after 20 years because of what's happened. And her community, after seeing that, was so heartbroken. They came together, started a GoFundMe, and now Bonnie Ruth's is not closing their doors.
Oh my God, power of social media, the power of your story. Yes. Absolutely. And we're supposed to leave with our story normally anyway, but now, like you were saying, we can show up without makeup. And it's okay. Yeah. Most people are. I'm loving TV now that are showing up, the home editions. They're just great. So I'm glad you pointed that out. You can be real now. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be all edited. It doesn't have to be all filtered, because it's not what people are going through right now. They can't relate to perfection right now. They can relate to you and your story and what pain you solve. And your business may still be very relevant because it solves a pain that's very much needed right now to be solved and to be addressed.
Yeah, so talking about how challenging it is right now, trying to do a Zoom call when your kids are running around in the background, or joking about how you look great up top, but I've got pajama pants on bottom, or, you know what I mean? So people love that.
I was just saying, I miss my high heels. But other than that, this is a fun outfit.
I agree. I'm the same way. I was like, I actually got dressed up for you today. And I'm like, all I need is real shoes. If I just get off these slippers, I'll actually look put together in the first time in a month.
Oh, that's fun. All right. So, number one, to be real, be authentic, show up. What else?
But number two, I would say just be consistent. Now's a really great time to establish consistency if you haven't been showing up consistently.
Mhm.
So give yourself a challenge. If you can commit to, like if we're talking about Instagram specifically, if you can commit to maybe showing up on your Instagram stories 3 times a day, do something morning, noon, and night. Just challenge yourself for a week and make it a habit to show up on your stories. This is a really great time to focus in on your digital strategy and start to push yourself and challenge yourself. If you're already showing up 3 times a day, how can you show up differently or better? What can you do to maybe connect with your audience in a different way, to get them to feel closer, more connected to you if they can't be visiting you, live?
Right. Now, three
So
times a day, that's interesting because a lot of people say, well, they're lucky to do it, 3 times a week. But you're
yeah.
saying Instagram stories. Does it matter if you post a post on Instagram 3 times a day, or should it just be one post a day, but 3 or 4 times on the story? Like, what's the difference between that posting and that story in logistic wise?
That's a really great question. The heavy hitters that are fully focused on monetizing, like if Instagram is a platform that really drives a lot of conversion for you, the more you're posting, obviously, the better. But if that's not your main conversion strategy, I would say posting on your feed 1 time a day,
Okay.
all you need to do. But stories is a place where you don't have to be nearly as thought through or curated as you do it on your feed. Your feed has to be pretty, it has to flow. You have to think
Branded.
through, yeah, it has to be branded. You have to think through that catchy caption. You have to research the right hashtags. I mean, there's so much more time that goes into posting on your feed than the time it takes to post on your story. I mean, you can just show up and be goofy and real and raw on your story, but on your feed, you can do that as well. It just takes a lot more thought to do it. So
Video or post on feed, on stories? Do you like video or posting better, or both?
both.
Both.
I'm team both. Switch it up and see what works best for you. Everybody should have a business account. Switch it over to a business account if it's not already. You're going to get so many analytics, and you can see, you start to notice if people are more engaged when you post videos versus when you post pictures. Start to pay attention. One of my favorite apps is Cliptomatic.
Ooh,
Cliptomatic. It's really cool because it's an app where you can record videos and it automatically captions your videos. So a lot of people that
been
videos
looking
on
for something like that.
it's
Mwah. Thank
so
you.
cool. It's so cool. It's really intuitive. You have to do like a little bit of typo edits, but for the most part, it's awesome. And a lot of people who watch stories like without sound, if you're posting video, that's a huge pain point. So if you can have captions on your videos, people are going to be way more engaged with your
I
Instagram
just
story.
talked about that this morning on a call we were having. Said it's great if you can get those captions in, but I didn't know about Kleptomaniac. You said, right?
Cliptomatic. Cliptomatic. I have to like look into my brain and think about it.
All right, send that over to me. I'll put it in the description for sure, because that's a no-brainer. That's fantastic. Because we were just saying today that there's many times you're caught, like you're in a meeting, you're watching something, but you're looking at a video and you can read it, but many times you can't listen to it. So it does add to that viewing pleasure as well. So thank you. Right.
Yeah.
Well, what other tools? Speaking of apps, what other are some must-have apps that people need to enhance their presence on Instagram and or Facebook?
Well, Cliptomatic's a great way to use to be able to enhance your story views because you've got those captions on your videos. When it comes to other things that I swear by, when it comes to maybe editing photos for your feed, I swear by Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom. You have to have Adobe Creative Suite for that. But and there's a little bit of a learning curve, but that's what I personally love to use to really curate my feed. All my photos, I usually run through some kind of preset in Lightroom. But you don't have to have Lightroom. Another great maybe more budget-friendly app that you can have that has really great filters is ironically called Foodie. Foodie. And what I really like about Foodie is you can filter both photos and videos. So that's also,
Yeah, that's an interesting name for that. I thought you were going to say something like Snapseed or something.
and Snapseed's a great one too. There's honestly so many. The ones that I go to the most are Lightroom, Foodie, Snapseed, and PixArt.
I got Pixar. Yes, good one. Okay, great.
PixArt is a great one, but those are like my 4 go-tos. Then obviously Facetune for that like annoying pimple.
Now, I am a big promoter of never going through this life alone. I always have coaches. I always have mentors. Always not reaching up to somebody who's better than me at whatever it is I need to go to. Because yeah, we can DIY this all we want and get some results. Yes, but for those of you all watching that really want to kick it up a notch, you have no time to spare. You need results. You need them now. I know I would suggest hiring somebody, because I know we think they're not affordable until we ask, because everybody now is working with different packages, different pay scales right now. They want to be of service. So tell me your thoughts on that, because we could teach people all day long the DIY spot, but if somebody's going to hire like you to do this, what are your tips for that?
Tips for hiring
this out, because yeah, we can get all these great outs, but there are some people like myself like, okay, these are all cute and great, but I'll never be as good as a professional at this. I'll never know how to use this just right. It'll be cute and fun, but professional business, I need results. What is your suggestions? My advice is I hired somebody like you, which is you, to take over and show me how this is done and do it right. Nothing else. You're going to get it done right, and you're going to learn how to do it right, and then going forward, it's going to be so life-changing. So tell them a little bit about that and what you do for businesses.
Yeah, so I'm a really big proponent of, you can get a fish, or you can teach a man how to fish, whatever. I don't know. You could buy a girl a shoe, or you can teach a girl how to make a shoe, whatever. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I like to do, is I like to kind of teach you how, and the best way I think to teach is to not, we all learn in a various different way, but social media is one that has so many different touch points. So what I like to do is I like to first help by like really streamlining the brand image. We really figure out how this brand is going to be communicated online. It kind of goes back to what I was talking about with my production background, like not just how to make this brand pretty, but how to convey a feeling. Like just knowing your brand colors isn't enough, because you could make red, black, and white look really gothic, or you could make red, black, and white look really like Showtime Hollywood, like red carpet, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like there's
good point.
So many different interpretations of colors. You could make pink and blue look really like nursery baby, or you could make it look really cotton candy and playful and fun, a little bit more mature. I mean, like it's just so many different things, so many variations. So it's really not just about knowing your colors, but knowing the feeling of the brand. So that's really where I like to start, is understanding how your brand tells a story visually without you having to open your mouth.
And even in your survey, you ask things like, who are you trying to attract? Well, who is your customer? What is their price point? So you're building this whole audience, and then you backtrack and say, here's what the look should look like with those colors that you like, and even tweaking it. You've got a really good eye, and you've got a really good imagination for things that we wouldn't think of ourselves. So that's where that real investment makes a difference. And I can't look at myself the same way as you would. And you add to that so much value.
Yeah, no, some of my favorite questions to ask people, and they seem really odd, but you should ask yourself this if you're watching this interview right now. Like, if your brand were a car, what kind of car would it be and why? And it's not just your favorite car. It's not just the car that you drive. Think about your brand. Think about the adjectives, the characteristics that you want people to use when they describe your brand, and then think about what car that would be and why. It really just forces you to start to think a little bit more abstract, a little bit more creatively. So when you start to put together visuals, you start to think outside of the box. It's not so literal. So we're really training ourselves, those of us that are really heavily left-brained, to think more right-brained, or vice versa. You know what I
I like
mean?
what you said. It's not about your favorite car. It's about your brand. So your brand might be, a Honda or Toyota because it's reasonably priced. It's for, a working mom, or it might be a minivan. It might be for working moms, women with kids. It might be the mommy blog or whatever. But your favorite car could be a Lamborghini. That's fine.
Yeah.
But branding, you want to show off the brand who you are. So that's really a cool way to think about it. I like that.
Yeah, kind of getting out of your head of what you like. And that's the biggest thing too, kind of going back to what you said about who your ideal customer is. Because I find that a lot of people approach their brand from the standpoint of, well, I went with, purple and green because those are my favorite colors. Well,
Yeah.
those might be your favorite colors, but they might not resonate with your dream client. And so getting really clear on really detaching from what we personally would use to decorate our home and what actually would resonate and drive conversion for our business. That's really what we need to be thinking about. And that's oftentimes kind of overlooked, especially as we're building personal brands. It's easy to justify, oh, but it's a personal brand. The brand revolves around me, so I have to like it. Yeah, you have to like it, but just because it's a personal brand, you're still selling a service. You know what I mean?
All
Beyond just
about them, for sure.
all about them. And that's really what we need to think about when we're thinking about brand colors. It's not just the color that we would like to paint our bedroom. It's really what is going to grab the attention and make somebody do a double take
Yeah.
when they're overwhelmed with online.
And it will represent the person because you're in that business and they're your audience, because there's something about that attracts you, that you're a part of. So it's okay. It's not like it's going to be completely different of everything you like. You will be in it, but there'll be those tweaks that, oh, you may not want this because you love that's your favorite. You may want to tweak it over here, but you're still in your world because you're in that business for a reason. You belong in that business. It is part of you. You do want to leave with your story. So it's not going to be alienated from who you are and what you love. But I love your visual and your eye, because I believe everybody needs an unbiased visual and eye, like a producer on your team that says, hey, I know who you are. I know you're trying to track. Look at this, because this is going to hit the nail on the head. When we can't see that because we're too close.
Teaming up, even if you're not necessarily hiring somebody, which if you're in the position to, like you said, it just really helps to have somebody that's unbiased, because we're so close to our brands. We're so close that it's like under your nose. It's like right here. And no matter how hard you try to look, like you're never going to see it. And it takes somebody from across the table to say, hey girl, you got to wipe this. Yeah, you got to do something about that. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. So if you're not in the position to hire that out, go, do a focus group, put together some of your favorite, or some of your people that do fit the mold of your dream client, and ask them what they think, you know what I mean? Or what their favorite colors are, or what really resonates with them, or who that is in this line of work do you really like, or who would you hire if you were in the position to do X, Y, and Z. Just kind of do some analysis.
And that's a great idea too, especially right now when there's so much bad going on with the quarantine, but there's so much good going on. People are so willing, especially women. We love to help out. How can I help you? Everybody's calling and getting into all of our groups. How can I help? How can I serve? It's not all about how can I charge you right now. It's all about what do you need? And women, we love to give our opinions. So that focus group, I think you nailed it right on the head there, Briana. A focus group would be great. And I don't know a woman in our entire circle, even with eWomenNetwork, that wouldn't say, I'd love to be a part of that. It's not like an every week 3-hour commitment. It's going to do a quick 20-minute, 30-minute focus group. Love to help you. And that brings us back to eWomen, because being a member of eWomen is so important that we're able to just kind of reach out, and we're there. We're sisters. We wouldn't hesitate to reach out. Hey, can you all give me your opinion of this? I just revamped my website. Would you give me your opinion? You will get a swarm of opinions, and take it or leave it, but you'll get some great input. And I can't imagine my life without some really great girl groups in my life. And that's not an expensive thing to have at all.
Not at all. Not at all. And especially now, I mean, speaking of adapting during COVID-19 and just getting creative, like I was in Puerto Rico when, all the shutdowns were happening, and it was wild. It's an experience to remember. But I mean, I hopped on with the executive growth team, the company, all of our events were getting canceled. I mean, we really quickly realized, like, eWomenNetwork is amazing and powerful as it is, and as strong of a community we have, our business model literally evaporated before our eyes. And we were watching it all happen as these, cities are shutting down, events are getting canceled. Like, how are we going to serve our community? And within a week,
You
we
pivoted
put
quick.
out a whole new brand, a whole new business model in a week.
And we love it. Just to let you, I was just on one of the meetings today. Like I said, I was live in Corpus Christi. I live in Atlanta. People are on from all over the country. We have people on from Australia. This has opened up our community like crazy. So talk about a good thing that has happened because of the pandemic. And I heard your mom has always wanted to do something like this anyway. So
it's
good
true.
time.
She has. So it's a silver lining. It's about really kicking out of victim mode. It's okay to have a panic attack. It's okay to be on the floor. It's okay to kill a bottle of wine in a night but then leave it there and kick it into problem solving mode, and when we
how they can get involved with eWomen, get involved with you and part of it. And I've been here, like I said, for 18 years and love every minute of it.
Well, something you can do for free is you can head over, and we're going to put this in the description, is you can go to ewn.news/wise women. Every Friday, I curate a list of awesome resources to help us that are super relevant to what's going on right now. So if you subscribe to that email list, you get an email every Friday, and it is like the podcast of the week, the video tip of the week, the blog of the week, however you like to absorb your content. We just curate a list that's just super relevant and timely to help you push through and come up with new inspiration and new ideas.
Do they have to be a member to get it?
And you don't even have to be a member to get it. So everybody can, that's something you can do right now for free. It costs you nothing to just get a Friday dose of well-curated information specifically catered towards women in business. So that is something everyone should do regardless. And if you don't have a community, now you need one more than ever. So definitely head over to eWomenNetwork. We actually have, with discount code DELL, a huge discount on memberships. We're actually also deferring our initiation fees for eWomenNetwork membership till this pandemic is over, so that all you're paying is that $19.95 a month. And you as a member, like Aurea was saying, can go to every single one of our online events, which is something that we didn't have to offer before. You could be attending online events hosted in Australia,
I know,
Canada.
I'm going to the Australia one. I'm so excited to join up with Ron. I met her at the Platinum. So, I mean, friends from all over the world. It's so great.
It's so cool. We've now got our international private Facebook group for our members. Tons of resources. We've actually rolled out our exclusive members only webinars with my mom and our CEO, Sandra Yancey. She's doing one just next week, and she's going to be talking about how to maintain control through COVID-19, something that a lot of us are trying to navigate right now, and just really cutting through all the fluff and down to what it really takes to come to really survive this. And the thing is nobody makes it alone. So getting a community, coming together, and then tapping into all the resources is really what it comes down to. So now's a really great time to become a member of eWomenNetwork for sure. And you can do that by just going to eWomenNetwork.com/join.
Right. I'll put the description. I didn't realize they were waiving the initiation fee. So that's great. I mean, how wonderful to do that during this time. So everybody can jump in and have this community. And I will put all those in the description. I will also promote that because I'm all about team. It means everybody together, everybody achieves more. We really do. And thank you, and thank your team and your mom and dad for all the goodness they pour into all of us, and for doing that during this time when 16 million or more are out of work. And together we can all help them create new ways of income. Be on it right now. This is time to be proactive more than ever. And if you're not where you want to be, or you need to totally recreate, get some power team, get some girlfriends together, some guy friends, whoever you need, people smarter than you in a room, in a focus group, and say, hey, I don't know what to do next. Can we chat? And just get those brain cells going.
And when you're quarantined, if you're surrounded by people that don't think like you, like as entrepreneurs, I know I'll speak for myself, like I'm very entrepreneurial minded. My husband's the complete opposite of me. So he's not the man. Well, I love him. I can talk to him about everything. He's so cute and he's my everything, but he's not the person I'm going to go to talk about how I'm going to survive this. He's just as cut from a different cloth. And that's
going to your mom.
Go to your mom. But that's my community, right? And so it's about, don't allow naysayers or the people that might not get it, even though they're the people that we love the most. Sometimes they say things to protect us, but not to really support our dreams. And if you don't have access to that right now, you need to get surrounded by people like you and, you know, communities that really do kick into action and, oh, I have an idea for you. You could be doing this right now, or I would love for you to do that. You know what I mean? And sometimes our family just is not that person, and that's okay. You know, like that doesn't mean that we love them any less, or they don't have like less of a space in our heart. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Everybody has a role in our lives for sure. And we have different roles in other people's lives as well.
Exactly.
Very excited, very excited. So I'll put all that in the descriptions. Y'all come along. Lots of free information, a lot of free tools. Follow Briana on Instagram. You will love what she's doing. You can even private message her. She will reply back. She's there to help and pour into you. Connect, 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 and connect with somebody this week that you've always wanted to connect with, because you never know. During this pandemic, you just might get a reply from somebody you would have never gotten a reply from before. Because right now, people are looking for content. They're looking to connect more than ever in history. We've never been through something like this before. And a lot of people who are normally busy are bored and looking for new things as well. So get out there and do that. Briana, do you have any last minute tips or words of wisdom before we sign off and let everybody else just kind of chime into us online?
Honestly, my parting words are just to stay positive and keep innovating. And if you feel empty, surround yourself with people who can fill you back up right now, because they're out there and we want to help you. So definitely DM me if you have any more questions. I'm here for you. eWomenNetwork is here for you. Aurea is here for you. And this was just such a fun way to spend my afternoon. So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, thank you for being part of it. I know you are busy. You're expecting little Tati and so much going on, and a lot of people's Instagrams to take over. So go watch her on Instagram. She's amazing. My Instagram will put in there, Ray McGarry Productions. You will see a new brand makeover coming up in May 2020. So very exciting. And yes, you all know my tagline for watching Success Talk, bringing successful tips to you right into your own home, your phone, your laptop, wherever you are right now. If you're in need of a special topic, specific topic or guest, let me know. But I want you to go out there so you can earn more, so you can live more, so you can give back more, because there's so many more people right now that need us to be even more successful than before, because they need our help. So help somebody out today as best you can. Praying for you all. Briana, thank you very much for being here. Y'all, thank you. I'll put the links in the description. Join us, join somebody, hold hands, virtual hands, and stay safe out there. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Thanks, Briana.